Right, let's talk about money, because that's really what you're here for, isn't it? You've heard about Copilot. You've maybe seen other people raving about it, and you're wondering, should I be paying for this? And more importantly, can I afford not to? When you were in corporate, someone else made the decision and paid the bill, or didn't. Now it's your business, your budget, and you need to know if this is a wise investment or just another Microsoft subscription trying to empty your wallet. I'm Michelle, and I'm in exactly the same position as you. I've got Microsoft 365 Business Standard, which gives me free Copilot chat. But I'm trying to decide whether to upgrade to the paid version. So, in this video, I'm going to show you the actual costs, help you work out if you need it, and share how I'm making this decision for my own business. Let's start with what's free. Before we talk about spending money, let's be very clear about what you already have. First, everyone, and I really mean everyone, can use Copilot Chat for free at copilot.microsoft.com. You don't need a Microsoft account for it, and it gives you access to web search, chat, and basic help, all for no money at all. Second, if you've got a Microsoft 365 business subscription, so that any of them, basic, standard, or premium, or even certain enterprise licenses, you already have Microsoft Copilot Chat included at no additional cost. But, and this is the important bit, it's not available in every app. Let me show you what I can do right now without paying anything extra. So let's start in Word. You can see on the ribbon on the far right hand side, and this is whether you've got the classic ribbon like I prefer, or even the simplified version. I'm going to go back to classic. The Copilot icon. You simply click there, and on the right hand side of the screen, you get a Copilot chat pane opening up. You can now type any prompt. So let's say write an intro for a blog post about MS Teams for small businesses. Okay. Simply hit return or click the arrow, and it'll start thinking about it and drafting something for me. And there is the text. I can choose to copy it, or I can click the nice plus button, which will insert it straight into my open document. Pretty cool, and it's at least giving me a starting point. In PowerPoint, I can see the same icon under email. I can draft emails there as well. For example, I can say draft a friendly follow up email to someone who watched my Excel tips video. Just fix my spelling mistake. And it creates that draft with the details. Really quick and easy. But here's what I discovered while making this video series. I don't have Copilot everywhere. Specifically, it's not in Excel. See? There is no icon at the end. Here's the interesting thing about Microsoft. Now, when I recorded that, you saw it wasn't there. I thought it wasn't available. And then I went and did something else, and I came back to it, and here we are back in Excel, and you'll notice Copilot's here. Copilot is supposed to be available throughout Microsoft on the web. That's Word, Excel, PowerPoint, not OneNote, and available through the desktop apps, Word, not Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, and OneNote. So a little bit confusing there. Copilot should be available in Excel on the web, but not on the desktop. And OneNote doesn't have Copilot in the web, but it should have it on the desktop. Thanks, Microsoft. Here in Excel, Copilot is going to help me with things like analyzing the data, creating formulas, functions, asking in natural English or your native language the questions rather than having to know the details about Excel and the functions that it uses. It can also help me create graphs and charts. Now, why does this matter for your decision about whether to pay for the upgrade? If you're mostly working in Word, creating presentations, managing emails, the free version has got you covered. But if you live in Excel, if you're doing financial analysis, tracking data, building complex spreadsheets, you're going to feel that limitation pretty quickly. For me, I'd say 70% of my work is in Word, PowerPoint, and Outlook. About 20% is in Excel, so the free version handles most of what I do. But if you're a bookkeeper, a financial consultant, data analyst, someone who spends most of their day in spreadsheets, the free version isn't going to cut it for you. Keep that in mind as we talk about pricing. Now, here's the limitation I want to be really clear about with the free version. Even in the apps where it is available, it doesn't automatically access all my files. I have to paste in content or add files to the chat if they're not the ones that I've got already open. It can't search through my emails from months ago. It can't pull information from SharePoint automatically. It doesn't know what's in my Teams chats unless I copy and paste them in. But honestly, I don't need everything. And it's already included in my payment plan. So before you start spending another penny, try this. Use the free version that you've got for a week. See what it can do. Because here's the thing, if this free version is saving you time, the paid version will save you more. But if you're not using the free version, there's no point in paying for the upgrade. Right, let's talk about the paid version, Microsoft 365 Copilot. Here's what it costs in the UK today, February 2026. Microsoft is currently running a promotional offer. So the standard price per month is £16.10, but at the moment they're offering a discount, bringing it down to £13.80. To find the current cost in your currency, please do take a look before you choose anything to make sure that you're happy with your costs. Now, there are a few really important things to understand about this pricing. First off, this is a promotional price that's running only up until the end of March 2026. So if you're watching this in March, you've got a few weeks left to grab it at that lower rate of £13.80. After the 31st of March, new customers will pay the standard £16.10 per month. Second, the promotional pricing only applies for the first year. Even if you sign up at £13.80 in March, after 12 months, your price will automatically increase to £16.10. Third thing, this is an annual commitment. It's an annual subscription and it auto-renews. You're committing to a year and you will be paying annually. So don't think about the monthly cost. That's £165.60 for the year at the promotional rate or £193.20 at the standard rate. Plus, as it says, price does not include VAT. You've got that on top. So let's talk about your total costs and let's do your long-term ongoing costs at the current rate. We all know Microsoft, things are going to go up. Let me break down what this actually means. Based on the promotional rate of $13.80 until end of March 2026, if you sign up now, that's $13.80 times 12, 165.6, plus VAT at 20% is £192.72, and that's per person. So let's round it to £200 per person. If you make the decision to take this from April or after your first year, that's $16.10 per month times 12, 193.2, plus VAT. So that's $231.84 per person per year. If it's just you, you're talking $200, give or take, for the first year, plus an ongoing commitment of $232, give or take. Let's say you've got a small team of 3, so let's say that's 199 times 3. You're going to be talking 597 for the first year on the promotional, or if you're talking about ongoing costs, you're talking about just under £700, so 696 for the team as a whole every year. You can imagine as your team gets larger, you're talking more money. Now, before you close this video thinking that's still too expensive, let me give you some context. At the standard rate of £232 a year per person, that actually could be around 64 pence a day. So that's less than a daily coffee. It's a lot less than my daily coffee. It's about the cost of maybe one client lunch. But here's the thing. If you can get it at the promotional rate of £13.80 before the end of March, your first year only costs £199. That's a genuinely low-risk way to try it properly. The real question isn't, is it expensive? No, the question is, does it save you more money than it costs? And that's what we need to calculate. I'm going to show you how I'm thinking about this for my own business. And you can use the same method. First question, what's your time worth? If you're billing clients at £50 an hour, then your time is worth £50 an hour. If you're charging more or less, then that's exactly what your time is worth. If you're charging a day rate rather than an hourly rate, follow the same principle as you did when you're working for a company. That's 8 hours a day on average, including an hour's lunch break, which you should still be paid for. So divide your day rate by 8 to get an hourly rate. For me, I work out my hourly rate based on my training fees. So let's say, just for this example, it's £60 an hour. Here's the break-even calculation. Remember, at the time of recording this video, we have got 2 rates to consider. So let's do monthly cost, hourly rate. So if we take the promotional rate of £13.80 with my hourly rate of £60 an hour, so we divide the cost by my hourly rate, gives me 23.23 hours, and that works out at about 14 minutes a month. Let that sink in. Wow. 14 minutes per month. If Copilot saves me just 14 minutes a month, I've broken even. So that's what, 3 or 4 emails I don't have to write from scratch. Maybe that's 1 presentation outline. I didn't have to stare at a blank screen for half an hour. Let's take it for the standard rate. So if we do the same thing, but that's now £16.10 with 60 hours. So let's divide the monthly cost by my hourly rate. And that equals, well, if we round it up, so let's take that down to just 2 decimal places, is 0.27 hours. That's just 16 minutes a month. Still incredibly low. Now, let's be realistic. Is Copilot actually going to save you only 14 minutes a month? Probably not. Based on my testing so far, with the free version, I'm saving at least 20 to 30 minutes per day on email drafting and document creation alone. That works out at 2 to 3 hours a week. Take that up, and that's 8 to 12 hours per month. Okay, so if we do that as a calculation, let's take the lowest amount of hours, so let's say 8. And what we do is the hourly rate times the saving. So that's about £480 worth of my time saved for a cost of just £13.80. That's pretty good, let's be honest. What if we take the middle? So if we do 10 hours, so that's £600 a month. Your ROI, return on investment, means that I'd be getting back around £43 for every pound that I spent to get Copilot. So that's a cost of £16.10 a month. The value is still for 10 hours, £600, and that becomes an ROI of £37 back for every pound spent. So it goes down a little bit, but £37 for every pound is still pretty good. Will you save 10 hours a month? Honestly, I don't know. It really does depend on how much time you spend in Word, PowerPoint, and Outlook. How much of your work involves writing, creating content, or managing emails. But you don't need to save 10 hours a month for this to be worth it. You need to only save 14 to 16 minutes. Honestly, anything beyond that point is pure profit. You should seriously consider paid version if you tick 3 or more of these boxes. So first off, you spend 2 or more hours a day in Outlook and Teams. Because Copilot can summarize your emails, can find information across conversations, and draft responses based on context it already has. Next, you work extensively in Excel. This is a big one. If you need help with formulas, data analysis, pivot tables, then you need the paid version. If Excel is where you spend most of your day, that's a major reason to upgrade. Next, you regularly search through old emails or files looking for information. What did Sarah say about that deadline? Where's that proposal I sent in November? The paid Copilot can find this in seconds. You create proposals, reports, or presentations weekly. The agent mode feature, which is rolling out this year, can build these whilst you watch, not just draft text. You're working solo without admin support. You don't have someone to help you find files, or manage your inbox, compile information, or work with data. Copilot becomes that assistant for you. You manage multiple client projects simultaneously, keeping track of who said what, when, and where. Copilot can pull all of this together across your emails, teams, and files. Time is literally money in your business model. If you bill by the hour, every hour saved on admin is an hour that you can bill. If you're trying to grow, time spent searching for files is time not spent on marketing. I tick 4 of those boxes. I create training content weekly, I manage multiple projects, I'm solo without admin support, and I spend a lot of time in Outlook. The one that doesn't apply so much to me, I don't live in Excel. I use it, but it's worth maybe 20% of my work. If I was doing financial work or heavy data analysis, that Excel limitation would be a deal breaker for the free version. So on paper, the paid version should probably be worth it for me, but I'm still testing the free version properly first. But let me show you now, doesn't need it yet. You probably don't need paid version if your Microsoft 365 usage is light. So maybe you send a few emails a day, create the occasional Word document. In that case, the free Copilot chat in Word, PowerPoint, and Outlook will handle this fine. You rarely use Excel. If you only open Excel once a month, look at a simple spreadsheet, the Excel limitation isn't going to affect you. But if Excel is critical to your work, this changes the equation completely. You're in strict startup mode, watching every single penny. In that case, £100 a year or equivalent might be better spent on marketing or essential tools. Use the free version until you're making consistent income. Your work doesn't involve much document creation. Not everybody does. If you're mostly doing hands-on work, so that's things like trades, services, physical products, then Copilot won't save you much time. You have simple workflows. Everything's straightforward. You don't lose track of information. You're not drowning in emails or managing complex projects. And finally, if you didn't find the free version useful in any of the apps, then the paid version isn't magically going to change that. You need to build the habit first. And here's something nobody tells you. There are hidden costs to consider. When you're working out whether this is worth it, don't just think about that monthly cost. You need to think about the learning curve time. You'll need to budget 2 to 3 hours to learn how to use it effectively. That's time you're not doing billable work. That's not a bad thing. It is an investment, but you do have to factor it in. Data organization. If your SharePoint is chaos, if your OneDrive is a mess with random files with names like final version, final revised, Copilot is going to struggle. It can only work with what you give it. Like the saying goes, garbage in, garbage out. You might need to spend a few hours tidying up your file structure or even creating one. Again, it's not a bad thing, but you need to factor that time in because that's what it's going to cost you, time. Scaling costs. Remember, it's per user. If you start with just yourself at approximately £20 a month, that's manageable. But if you want to add it for 3 team members, you're talking £80 a month. And remember, that's not just a month. You're paying for a year at a time. You need to plan for that if you're growing. None of these are reasons not to do it, but they are things you need to know before you commit. Here's what I'm doing and what I'm going to recommend you do as well. Step 1. Use the free Copilot chat for a couple of weeks. You've already got it throughout Microsoft Office, both on the web and in some of the desktop applications. Open those apps and click that Copilot icon. Use it daily, see what it can do. But also notice where you hit limitations. Are you constantly wishing you had it in Excel? That's valuable information. If you're not using the free version in the apps where it is available, you won't use the paid version. Step 2. Track your time for 1 week. Keep a note. It doesn't have to be fancy, just a piece of paper or OneNote of tasks where Copilot helped you and, just as importantly, tasks where you wish you had it but couldn't use it. Drafted that email in Outlook, saved 10 minutes. Created a presentation in PowerPoint, saved 20 minutes. Needed help with Excel formulas, but Copilot wasn't available in the desktop. Would have saved 15 minutes. Once you've got this all written out, add it up at the end of the week. Now multiply it by 4. That's your monthly time saving, both actual and potential. Remember, we're just getting a rough idea. Then, step 3, do the maths. Your hourly rate times hours saved per month, including the time you could have saved if you had access to various options. If that number is more than the £20, then it's worth considering. But if it's significantly more, say £50 or £100 worth of time saved, it's probably a no-brainer for the paid one. Pay particular attention to Excel and OneNote. If you constantly needed help there in the version that you're using and you're not getting it, that's a strong signal that you need the paid version. Step 4, if you're going to try it, then do it before the end of March. The promotional price is £13.80 per month, but it only runs until the 31st of March. I know it's not much time. After that, it's going up to £16.10. So if you're on the fence, the lower rate is much easier to swallow for a trial period. But remember, that trial period is for a year. Track your time saving. If it's working, great. If it's not, make a note to cancel. You can't cancel it early. Important note about July 2026. Microsoft is increasing the price for Microsoft 365 based subscriptions from July 2026, probably about 5 to 10% across the board. It's likely Copilot will be affected by this increase as well. So if you're going to commit, but March is too soon, doing it before July is going to lock you into a better rate for the first year. Just something to be aware of. There's no pressure from me. This is all about what works for you. Now, am I going to pay for it? Honestly, I'm not sure yet. I'm going to properly test the free Copilot chat for the next couple of weeks across Outlook on the web and the desktop apps. I'm going to track my time and I'm going to pay attention to how often I feel it's missing or a lack of it. If I can prove to myself that I'd save 90 minutes a week with paid version, then I'll probably try it at the promotional rate. It's not a lot of money in the grand scheme of things, but I'm not making that decision based on hype. or FOMO. I'm going to be making it based on actual data from my business. And that's what you should do too. So, bottom line, free Copilot and Copilot Chat is no money. It's available in Word, PowerPoint, Outlook and Teams on the web and desktop. It's available in Excel on the web, but not the desktop. It's not available in OneNote on the web, but it is available in desktop. Start with those apps. Use it for a couple of weeks. Pay attention to where you feel the limitations are for your business. Paid Copilot is currently on a promotion until the end of March at £13.80. At the beginning of April, it's going back up to £16.10. It will make it available in all of the apps, web and desktop. It can automatically access your business data. If you feel it's worth this investment, try it. If it saves you more time than it costs, it might be worth it. If you're a heavy Excel user, especially in the desktop, then definitely consider the investment in the paid option. Please don't make this decision based on what everyone else is doing. Instead, make it based on your business, your workflows, your actual time saving, and which apps you actually work in. If you live in Excel and you need AI help there, that alone might justify the upgrade. If you rarely touch Excel or the web version's enough, and you're happy with Word, PowerPoint, and Outlook support, the free version might be all you need. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to actually use Copilot effectively in the apps where you do have access as part of your standard business license. Because having it is one thing, but knowing how to use it to write good prompts, that's what makes all the difference between meh results and wow results. If this was helpful, hit that subscribe bell. I've got 2 more videos coming up this month about Copilot, and I do these practical Microsoft 365 tips every week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.